Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome to my hobby blog. Today is a special episode, another spontaneous one. I was on Instagram and I happened to notice that Scream Factory slash Shout Factory uploaded a post saying that it is the 10th anniversary as of this week. I'm not sure which day. I think they said the 23rd. Maybe it was today, I'm not sure, but either way, it is the 10th anniversary, and I'm very excited to sort of do a new top 10 of my favorite releases by Shout Factory slash Scream Factory, and one Shout Select. So I am trying to think if I've actually done a ranking of what my favorite releases are, but these will not come as a surprise, I don't think. Maybe in regards to what I like about the releases, but these are all very quality releases that I think everybody who collects Shout Factory already owns. Maybe one of them, not many people own, but the others I think everybody at least can say that the movies are great. So the first one I wanted to sort of show, these are not in order from like number 10 to number 9 or anything like that, but I really want to show my first, not Vinegar Syndrome, Shout Factory release that I ever got. And this is one that really kickstarted my collecting. And this is a Stuart Gordon film. It has Barbara Crampton in it. It has Jeffrey Combs. It has penis monsters, everything. Ken Foree is in this film. And if you don't know what the movie is by this point, it is, of course, From Beyond. If you have not watched this movie, you are missing out in life in general. This movie is absolutely amazing. I love Reanimator, but I think my heart resides with From Beyond. This movie is so grotesque. The pacing is top notch. The acting and performances are very well done. The music, of course, is amazing. And I just noticed on the thing, this is one of the issues I have with the older slipcovers, is that there's a little square here, and it's pushing up on the plastic. I just kind of noticed that. But I actually got this used from a local used bookstore called McKay's, which is all over North Carolina. And I think I got this for like $10. And my God, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of this. And I highly recommend all of the special features on here, both commentary tracks, which I have listened to. There's one with Stuart Gordon in the cast. Okay, there's just one commentary, but I very much recommend that one. I think I was thinking of the Reanimator 2 commentary tracks. But the audio commentary track for this movie is fucking awesome. It is very informative. It feels like a part 2 to the commentary of Reanimator. So if you want to have like a field day of just great film exploration and sort of film school, do a double feature and go through the special features afterwards, including the commentary track. I also really like the interviews with the composer, Richard Band. This is a really quality release, and it's a very early one too. So I was very lucky that this was the first one that I ever got, and it really kickstarted my Shout Factory love for Shout Factory. I'm gonna do a quick little honorable mention. I would usually do this in like the second to last, but there are about 10 releases part of this special mention. I have to give them props for releasing almost every single John Carpenter film, and these are all the special mentions, ones that I love the movies or at least enjoy them, but I haven't gone through the special features, so I'm not including them. But I want to shout out these releases of Someone's Watching Me, Prince of Darkness and the Mouth of Madness, The Fog, Starman, The Vampires, which is probably my second least favorite John Carpenter, Village of the Damned They Live, and Assault on Precinct 13. I swear that I have seen, or at least listened to the commentary with John Carpenter and Roddy Piper, but the more I think about it, the more I just can't recall any details from it. I rewatched it really recently, and I can finally say that I love it. It took me a while to really get into They Live, but we're going to go into back to my top 10, and really not in sequential order. But this is a John Carpenter. These next ones, the next three that I'm going to talk about are John Carpenter. So I just wanted to highlight my appreciation to Shout Factory for releasing a good bulk of John Carpenter's filmography. This is a recent release of I think, John Carpenter's first major film, redefined the horror genre. I don't really have anything new to add to this movie, and this is the 4K release of Halloween, the original. I love it a lot, but I'm definitely a Halloween 3 kind of guy. I love Halloween 3, which I don't have here because I haven't really gone through the special features. I haven't listened to the audio commentary track. I have listened or watched the locations, like, featurette that they have, which was just okay, and also the interviews with everybody, which I guess I will include that. Let me grab it real quick. Yeah. I forgot about most of the special features on here. I should have looked, but I haven't watched the two commentary tracks, but everything else I really, really like. So I'll lump it in with Halloween 1. So with Halloween 1, I highly recommend listening to the audio commentary with John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis. I forgot her name for a second. It is really interesting to listen to them talk about it and how the careers went from, not really well-known people. At least Jamie Lee Curtis, her mom is very famous, or her parents are, but John Carpenter wasn't really a name yet until this film, and it's really fun to talk or to listen to them talk about post-Halloween, how the career has changed because of this. And it was really nice for Jamie Lee Curtis to reference the big issue I have with this movie that drives me insane every time I watch it. It's holding me back from saying it's my favorite John Carpenter, but the fact that she keeps throwing away the knife, it drives me absolutely crazy. She keeps throwing it away, and I just want to scream at the TV. And she talks about it. Apparently, she has a huge issue with it, too. And so I felt a connection for once with her on that. So I was very happy that she referenced that, because drives me bonkers. Drives me bananas. This is a John Carpenter film, too, and I've seen all of these now. I highly recommend the audio commentary with Kurt Russell and John Carpenter, and I guess for the next two, I highly recommend the commentaries with the both of them. This is The Thing. I don't know if I've done a John Carpenter ranking yet of all his films, but this is my favorite. There's nothing else to add, but all this special features on this release are so fucking good. The audio commentary, of course, with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. The new interviews are really good. I really like the, see if I can find the name of it. John Carpenter's The Thing, Terror Takes Shape. That documentary is like an hour and a half, I think. Maybe an hour at the least. And it's all about the making of, and they talk to all of the cast members, except Kurt Russell, because I guess, I don't know why he didn't. I really wish he would have. But they interview everybody else for this documentary, and it is so in-depth. And they also have another featurette all about the novelization of The Thing, and they talk to the author about sort of his process of taking the film and then writing a novel version. And he basically just said, like, hey, I was just given the script. They were still making the movie, when they handed it to me to do the writing. So there's quite a bit of differences here and there that he points out, but oh my god, everybody needs this release. I hope there's a 4K, and I think this is probably the only 4K release that I would upgrade. Maybe another one which I'll show and mention. But this is a great release. It looks very beautiful. It's probably one of the best restorations I've seen on a Blu-ray, at least in Shout Factory's output. But God, I can go all day on this movie, but this is definitely a great release by Shout Factory. And it's one I only got like last year. I loaded up on John Carpenter movies last year during the October sale that they had. This next movie is the final John Carpenter movie I'm going to mention and discuss. This is a recent release. They did a 4K of this, but I decided not to get it. Instead, just settle for the Blu-ray, which I don't know if I'm really regretful on. There's quite a few releases where I'm like really having to hammer my head on what I want to do, because sometimes I just want to get both. But for $5 more, you can get the 4K with the Blu-ray disc. So I should be doing that, because Shout Factory is one of the few companies that actually packages the 4Ks with Blu-rays. I think there's like one or two releases here and there that they don't have the rights to the Blu-ray, but they have the rights to the 4K. And that's like a weird situation, and that's not fun. But this is probably the funnest movie by John Carpenter, in my opinion. Big Trouble in Little China. This is the new restoration. They had a earlier release from, I think, 2013, 2014 maybe. This one, everybody's talked it to death. This is my second favorite of John Carpenter's films. And oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. It's kind of sad that they weren't able to get Jackie Chan to play what Dennis Dunn, that character's, or that actor's character is. Originally, John Carpenter wanted Jackie Chan, but I think he talked about in the commentary track how it wouldn't have worked because Dennis Dunn is like perfect for that role, and Kurt Russell is the lovable idiot the entire movie. And they talk about this on the commentary track, but this movie completely bombed when it first came out. I don't think anybody had any idea what the movie was going for, because I didn't the first like 2 times I watched it. I want to say it was around the time, I think Will showed this in class, and he explained that Kurt Russell is like, you know, he's not the action hero of this. Dennis Dunn is really the main star of this movie. But because they have, you know, Kurt Russell front and center, and he was really popular around this time, he, I think everyone just was really confused watching this. But nowadays, of course, everybody loves this movie, and for very good reason. And this release, I've only listened to the commentary track with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, and oh my god, it's like a new fact every like 5 seconds that you learn. It is filled to the brim with information. This is a film school release right here. 3 commentary tracks on here, 2 new ones with this release, new interviews with actors Dennis Dunn, James Hong, Peter Kwong, Donald Lee, and the martial arts choreographer James Liu, and more. And of course, all the interviews are very good on this release. Whew. So this is the only Shout Select release that I have to recommend everyone. I haven't gone through it all the way yet, but I do plan to in the future. This is definitely something I want to review on the channel eventually. This is one of my favorite cult films of all time. It's one I haven't really mentioned ever on the channel. This is a very lovely 1972 film directed by Perry Henzell, starring Jimmy Cliff. If you don't know this movie yet, I'm about to tell you, but this is one of the best cult films of all time, in my opinion. This is The Harder They Come. This is a Jamaican-based reggae blasting crime story, all about Jimmy Cliff, who wants to become a singer and instead becomes a runaway criminal that the newspapers are obsessed with, and he's very successfully avoiding law enforcement. And it's shot on location in Jamaica, and oh my god, this is one of the best movies ever. And it's also packed with No Place Like Home, which is a lost film by the director, all about I'm not sure what it's about, they don't say, but it's shot in Jamaica. And there are so many special features on this. There's an entire disc with a bunch of special features just on this movie. And then there's a whole nother disc just for No Place Like Home. And then there's a third disc that has even more special features. This is a film school release that I plan on doing eventually. This is just such a beefy set. And this is a very old Criterion DVD that they did many, many years ago. And I was waiting a long time to watch this. And I eventually just rented it from the library with the DVD. And I loved it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go get the Blu-ray. And I looked up, there was no Blu-ray. And there wasn't a Blu-ray for a long time until this came out. I think in 2018, maybe 2019. And oh my god. This is such a great movie. I've seen it so many times. I saw it in class. I saw it at school many times. I would rent the DVD. And it slowly started to get scratched because not only was I watching it, but everyone else was watching it. Whoever was at the school. And the soundtrack in this movie. Some of my favorite movies are ones where they have a really great song echoing throughout the entire film. And this is one where this lead song, The Harder They Come, plays like 6 or 7 times, and it never gets old. It's one of the best movies that I have seen. And it's one I really want to do a deep dive on one day. Maybe next year after the Spooktober releases. Well, not releases, but the Spooktober 31 Days of Spooktober series that I do every year. And then November, I have a 31 days of a theme that I'm going to do. I'll do more details on that later. But I think December, I'll take a break and just focus on living and getting through any other releases that I have. But oh my god, The Harder They Come. Get this release if you can. This is film school in a box. This next release is one that I really like, but I don't think I will ever upgrade it to 4K, so I have, to me, the definitive edition of this. The commentary track is great. I love the interviews on this release. This is a Robert Hiltzik film from 1984, I want to say, 1983. And it's 84 minutes. This is a slasher film, technically. This is the film Sleepaway Camp. This is a really great release, too. One of the best summer camp movies ever. The last time I watched this, I was just like wanting to do an audio commentary track all about why I love this. And why my, I guess, youth and summer camp that I spent many years at, why this movie is such a nostalgia trip for me. And also, it's just a great film in general. I don't even want to mention the ending, because everybody does when they talk about this movie, but the lead performances are really great. I love the aunt character, Aunt Martha. She is very just funny and out of place in this type of movie. I love the character of Ricky. He is always cussing at people. He is the exact kind of kid that I used to hate as a staff member. But when I was a camper, he was exactly who we needed in the classes to be like, fuck you, and all that to all the kids who were just awful. Oh my gosh. Also, there's a lot of dark material in this movie that I was kind of shocked at when I rewatched it last. But ah, I really wish I could have watched this over the summer. I didn't even think about it. It's been about a year. I think I did a review on this. Uh, if not, I'll do one soon. But I'm pretty sure I did a review video on this. So go check that out if you haven't already. And then, yeah, we're not going in really specific order, but the next two are George Romero films. Sorry, these are both releases that I just discussed very recently on a ranking video that I did with Will, all about every George Romero film, even the ones he's written and not directed. This release right here is a movie that I love a lot, but it's nowhere near the top. It's about, I think, in the middle is where I put it in the ranking, but the audio commentary and the documentary on this release is just phenomenal. It really made me appreciate the movie a lot more. And this is the film Knightriders by George Romero from 1984, I want to say. 81. So this was right before the next movie that I'll talk about. But this is a movie that George Romero made, obviously. I'm trying to think out how to say this without discussing the next movie I'm going to show. You know what? I'll just show it. The next movie is Day of the Dead. This is also a really great release, but both of these movies were part of a 3-picture deal that George Romero had obtained from the producer, and he was able to make 2 other movies that he wanted to do, and Day of the Dead was the required movie because the producer wanted a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. And so George Romero just bluntly explained on the commentary track, like, yeah, Day of the Dead immediately became, the 3rd movie we'll make, because I want to make movies that I really have wanted to make. And they had a lot of budget during the first film that they were making, because they had I think they said, or he said $15 million they had, or $10 million to make 3 films. And Knightriders was the most expensive, I believe. And it's just so much fun to watch them make this film. Watching the documentary just really made me appreciate it. And to talk about Day of the Dead, the documentary on this called World's End, The Legacy of Day of the Dead. That one is a new commentary just for this release. Now, I hope they do a 4K of this eventually. If Second Sight does it, cool, but I really want Shout Factory to sort of handle it, because this release is really fucking good. And I think if these different companies each do a separate great Romero release, like how Second Sight has done, Dawn of the Dead, which is right here, right there. They did Dawn of the Dead, and they're now doing Martin. If they do that, and Shout Factory does, Day of the Dead, 4K, and, I don't know, I guess Knightriders 4K, I wouldn't upgrade it to 4K myself, but if they each, do, 2 or 3, George Romero movies and make it really good, then we'll have, a great, rapid release schedule of all his films, I think. There's still quite a bit of movies by him that we need good releases of, but both of these in particular, I really love. George Romero is a legend, and RIP to him. So this is the second to last release I want to talk about. This is one that I'm gonna gear up to watch soon. I want to say that I did do a review on this, and did a review on, or a video on. So if you want to know more about it and what I love about this movie, go watch that. But this is the release by, directed by Bob Clark, who did many different movies throughout his career. but this is from 1972, I want to say. I'm looking for the date. 74. This is Black Christmas. This is a very awesome movie. I love how the killer is never revealed. It's just like Halloween, which is on purpose because whoever decided to have this movie made, they wanted a sequel to Halloween. And so Bob Clark was like, hey, I got a great idea. And then he just took out all of the Halloween Michael Myers stuff. But this movie is just very well done. Very well done. Yeah, I said it right. The interviews on here are really good. I haven't listened to the commentary tracks yet, but there are 3 of them. One of which is by the director, one of which is by 2 actors, Keir Dullea and John Saxon, and another commentary track by Nick Mancuso, who played Billy, who is the killer, but we don't really see him or get a grand reveal at the end of who he is. We don't really know who he is. So that is Black Christmas, probably one of the best releases by Shout Factory. Okay, and of course, the final one that I have to mention is one I think everyone will say is the favorite release because it's such a beefy set. It finally created a definitive edition of these movies. I will never upgrade these movies unless they just come out of the gate with like a second sight release. They just did a 4K release of the original one, and I have no idea why anybody would upgrade to that, because there's no new special features and it's just a new restoration. I think the restoration looks great on this anyways, but this is the set. Friday the 13th. I just did a big watch of all of them this year since, I think, February. And I did a whole ranking video, so if you want to know my thoughts on any of these particular films, go watch that. Again, this is a giant beefy set. It comes with all of the films. Here's what it looks like on the other side. Each movie comes with a commentary track, sometimes even 2 commentary tracks. It comes with documentaries. It comes with a pretty beefy pretty beefy sort of dedicated disc for all of the special features that are not tied to the specific movies. I don't think they got the 4-hour documentary called Camp Crystal Lake, or Crystal Lake Memories, I believe it's called. I don't think they got it for that release, but it's on Shudder, so one day I'll watch that. But it's so nice to have a definitive edition of these movies, because there have been so many releases of these films throughout the years. And thank you so much, Shout Factory, for putting all of them into one package. It is so nice to have these. I wish they would do them for the Halloween films, but I'm at the point now where I only like 1 and 3, and I have no interest in the sequels. And I don't know if I'll ever watch the sequels, but maybe a Nightmare on Elm Street release by them would be really nice. I've said many times that they should do a Saw series review. I'm trying to think, maybe the Scream series, they should do it. Chucky would be a really great series box set by them. There are many options from Shout Factory, and you can kind of see up here that I do have the Fly collection. I got that, I think, last year, I want to say. Maybe 2 years ago when it first came out, and I've only seen the original and the remake. I will say that the remake has a really great commentary by David Cronenberg on that release, but I haven't really delved too deep into that box set, so that's why I didn't show it here today. But yeah, that is all of my favorite, I guess, Shout Factory releases. You can sort of see on my right shoulder, well, technically my left shoulder here, you can see a lot of that shelf has been kind of carved out because I brought them all out here and I just have stacks all around me of Shout Factory. So Okay. Happy anniversary, Shout Factory. Happy 10th anniversary. Hopefully you guys are around for another 10 years. Please do bigger box sets like the Friday the 13th ones for all the different series that I have just mentioned. And for anyone who is still here, please let me know your favorite Shout Factory releases and what you think about my picks. Thank you all so much for watching, and please have a great rest of the day.